welcome to a quick analysis of the VARC sectional of UN SNAP 2. With just 15 questions, this was not a very heavy sectional. Just 15 questions and 1 mark per question. The ideal time that we recommend you invest here is about 10 to 12 minutes, preferably not more than 12 minutes, because all of these questions were crisp, short and quick questions you could solve quickly. So any investment of time over 12 minutes or over 15 minutes would be on the higher side, which means you are investing more time in this and probably not taking enough questions of the other sections. So roughly around a 10 to 12 minutes investment of time is more than sufficient here. In fact, you will invest at 12 minutes only if you think that these questions of verbal ability are your strength and you can get them right. If verbal is not your strength, if these question types are not your great strength and your strengths lie in other sectionals, you'll probably not invest so much time here. Maybe you might just think of a 5-6 minutes and a few questions that you think you can get right. So it's a call, it's a decision that you take regarding investing of time here. But considering the 15 questions and their nature, about 12 minutes should suffice to give you a very good score and a percentile here. So what were the 15 questions? There were 4 vocab-based questions, 2 of which were analogies and 2 sentence completion with confusing words. There were 3 grammar questions. All 3 were sentence correction format, not the error detection format, 3 para-jumbling questions, and 1 RC, which had 5 questions, all of which were specific detailed questions. The sectional can easily be called an easy to moderate sectional, more emphasis on the easy part because there were a number of questions that we can mark easy. Let's look at what these questions were. So the 1 RC that you had to do with science, zoology, the study of bees and bee moths was a very easy one because the questions were all detail-based. They were all specific detail questions. All of them were fact-based. And questions 1, 2, 3, 4 have been marked easy because the answers were very visible. You didn't have to read the RC, you simply had to look at the question and scan, regress to the RC and scan for the correct details. So this was a quick task. You didn't have to invest a lot of time in this. The one analogy that had to do with beguile and gullible, the quality of a gullible person can be easily beguiled. Likewise, an aggrieved person can be easily placated. That was also very visible. The relationship stood out clearly and therefore you could get the answer. This is again marked easy. 1 sentence correction, question 9, which started with the conjunction of concession, which is even though. That was quite visible. You could use even though as well as yet together. You needed to drop that. So the correct answer, correct option there stood out. That's why it's easy. Questions 12 and 13, the sentence completion with confusing words, not very difficult, because there was that at least 1 question, 1 sentence in both these questions that were quite tricky, had very close words, but the options helped you. You could always use the options to narrow down. You could use the options, you could use your understanding and clarity of the other sentences and the confusing words there to narrow down to the correct options. So getting this right was not difficult. You would also finish it very quickly because the sentences were very crisp and short. What were the moderate questions? There was that 1 lone question in RC, which is marked moderate. It was a specific detail one, which was what are the bee moths compared to? Now to find that detail, however, required you to scan quite a bit. You had to go back and scan the paragraphs for that specific answer, which is why this is marked moderate, because it takes a little time. Not because it involves reasoning or anything of that sort. The 3 parajumbles are marked moderate because for 1, they all had 5 sentences. That in itself makes it quite heavy reading. And yes, all of them had to be read carefully. It isn't that the links stood out very visibly. the links and the idea development would surface, would become visible to you, would become clear to you once you read 3 or 4 sentences. So you had to get through 3 or 4 sentences to understand how the idea was developing and get a sense of how they could be sequenced, which is time consuming again, which is why these are marked on the moderate side, because you'd need to invest at least a minute per question, at least a minute, probably more. Sentence correction questions 10 and 11 were challenging, and that's why I marked moderate, because they involve multiple things, parallelism, tense, voice, modifiers. You have to look at multiple things. So eliminating the options was not very quick. The one analogy question that used the words of debauch and corrupt, a debauched person is corrupt, or the quality of being debauched is corrupt, was difficult to figure, because correlating that relationship to ignominious, which is mortifying, is a little difficult. The word in itself is difficult, and relating to that relationship was also quite challenging. So that's why it's marked difficult. So what was your time allocation? The 10 to 12 minutes. You would obviously get into the RC. Anyone who did not choose the RC might have ended up doing the wrong selections, because the RC was an easy one. You just had to look at the questions to figure that this is very easy. I just have to regress and get the answers. And you would have got them right, because it was very easy to eliminate the options. The vocabulary questions. So if you invest about 5 minutes or less than that for the passage, you'd need about 3 minutes for the analogies, at least one analogy and the 2 sentence completion, max of 3 minutes. You actually don't need 3 minutes. If you're quick at analogies, you'd probably finish it in about 30-40 seconds. The parajumbles, however, would need about 4 minutes, definitely at least a minute per question, as we mentioned already. Sentence correction, maybe 2.5 minutes. In all, you will find that, with these many minutes, 5 plus 3, 8, plus another 3, which is 11 or 12, and a 14.5, which is 2, for which we are considering all 15 questions. But if you are targeting just 12, 13 questions in a flat 11, 12 minutes or 10, 11 minutes, you can finish them, or even less time than that. So where do we stand with our expected attempts? Remember, we've marked 8 questions as easy, okay, which wouldn't even consume you a lot of time. And we've marked 7 questions as moderate, assuming you're able to take 8 of the easy questions and about 4 or 5 or 3 to 5 or 3 or 4 of the moderate questions. We are considering something like 12 attempts made, with maybe about 2 incorrect. Remember that the incorrect might not be an exact tabulation. Remember, when the percentiles are generated, it's a point difference very often between percentiles. So at 12 questions with perhaps 2 incorrect, you are at a score of 9.5, and this is your 98 percentile. At 14 questions attempted, maybe 2 or 3 incorrect, at a score of 11, you stand at a 99 percentile. You'd need all attempts and all correct to get a score of 15, which is your 100 percentile. 95 percentile can be at a score of 8.5, which is about 11 questions attempted to about 2 incorrect. 7.75 is your score for a 90 percentile, which is around 9 questions attempted with perhaps a 1 incorrect. About 8 questions attempted, 1 or 2 incorrect, with a score of 6.25 is your 80 percentile. Look at this, a 6.25 for an 80 percentile, a 7.75 for a 90 percentile, an 8.5 for a 95 percentile, 9.5. Considering these 10 questions, 11, 12 questions is not a challenge at all. A lot of these are questions or concepts that you're already familiar with. Yes, the vocabulary might surprise you, but remember, vocabulary is a must for exams like this. For an exam like SNAP, or for that matter, any speed exam, your strength of vocabulary is an absolute must, right? So this is an analysis of the VARC sectional. Let's look at the other sectionals too. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So this was the end of the mock SNAP 2 for the year 2021. Quite an interesting paper. You must remember there were a total of 60 questions and 60 minutes for all. Some of the paper, one of the sections could have been easy, one of the sections could have been tough. So assuming uniform toughness in all the three sections, uniform time should be spent for all the three sections. Say around 20 minutes for each, or maybe a little more for quant if you want. Maybe say somebody might want to spend a little 2 to 3 minutes more on quant. Those who have strength in verbal could have spent a little more time in verbal. So in general, I'm expecting 20 minutes for everybody in quant on an average. And with that, let's begin the understanding of this section. There were 20 questions, 8 easy, 8 moderate, and 4 maybe difficult, maybe a little different or lengthy. There were charts, and DI is also a part of quant. So graphs and charts. There was a line graph which had 3 questions. The set had 3 questions. Numbers had 3 questions. 1 on partnership. Profit and loss 1. Progressions also 1. 2 questions on permutation and combination. 1 on inequalities and spatial properties. Logarithms 1. Set theory was 3 questions, and it was a set of 4 sets. Question of 4 sets. Surds and indices 1 question. 3 on geometry, 1 from triangles, 1 from circles, and 1 from heights and distance. So that's a very broad spectrum for 20 questions. Looking at the easy questions first, one of the first questions was a progressions question. In an arithmetic progression, Tn is the nth term. Also, you are given, this is of course the very standard definition. You're also told T3 plus T8 is equal to T2 plus T7 plus T5. Find y if Tx plus Ty is equal to Tx. This clearly, of course, showed that Ty was 0. You are supposed to find which term is 0. This is a very easy question, even if you do it in writing, even if you understand the logic and remember a short approach. This would be a wonderful question, not to be missed. This should have been done. Partnership is usually easy, but sometimes it may be a little lengthy, more in terms of time rather than difficult. This could have been that sort of a question which took up a little more time than an average that I expected. A and B started a business. B invests 1/3, as does A. After 3 months, A withdraws 1/3 of his investment, and B tripled his investment. So now, if the annual profit, A receives 1,800, what was the total profit? Quite an easy question. Probably it should have been done, not to be missed. Maybe it'll take a little more time than the others. Logarithms, third question. Third, not in the order of the questions, in the order of this sequence. Find the number of solutions for log this equation. Log of x square minus 2x plus 2 to the base x is equal to 1. Usually log questions are difficult. People perceive logarithm as difficult. But this was quite an easy question, something that could be managed very well within a good time limit for the question. And of course, there was only one catch. X cannot be 1. That was the only catch here. One question, the fourth on numbers. Find the number of zeros at the end of the product 10 into 20 into 30. This is something which nobody should miss. Almost a standard book type of a question. Only one catch if you do it in a wrong approach. Otherwise, a very standard type, an easy question, something that could be done almost mentally. So these were the four, three more, and one easy question. Two easy questions were from the graph, two more from quant. Profit and loss. Margin was defined. This, of course, is a standard definition again. Margin is defined as profit earned on the selling price. Usually, we always take profit percentage. We don't talk about margin percentage. So this is a question on that. If selling price is 10 and the cost price is 9, the margin is 10%. Of course, the profit would be 1, we can calculate. And 1 out of 10, that is the definition, and this is only the explanation of that. So the only part of the question is, when margin is 80%, what is profit percent? Profit percent, of course. A very easy question. You can assume a good selling price and then you can solve within probably 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. Triangles, the last of the easy questions in quant. In a triangle, if the ratio of the altitude to the sides, A, B, B, C, C, A, are in this 4 to 3. So a ratio of altitudes to the sides is given, then find the ratio of the sides. No tricks played. The sides are also in the same order. Again, something which can be very, very simple. Almost again mentally. So these 6 questions are something absolutely easy, good enough. Let's have a look at the moderate questions. 8 moderate questions, out of which 1 was from the graphs, otherwise 7 from quant side. Permutation and combination. A committee of 4 boys, a committee of 4 has to be formed from 5 boys and 6 girls, such that 2 girls are always selected. Then in how many ways? At most 3 boys can be selected. So 2 girls are already there. You can have 2 girls, 3 girls and 1 boy. That is permitted. 2 boys, 2 girls, 3 girls, 1 boy, and 4 girls, no boy. So that was the only thing that was time consuming. If somebody is going to write a lot, yes, it'll even take a little bit of a time. If somebody can do it mentally, good enough, fairly good. One question on heights and distance. Actually, this question was more of easy category than of difficult, just because of the situation, not because of the question by itself. The angle of elevation of a jet plane is 60 degrees. After 10 seconds, the angle of elevation changes to 30 degrees. If the jet plane is flying at a constant height, find the speed. The only problem in this question was, I mean, not in the question, but in the data, was that the direction of the jet plane is not mentioned. Whether it is coming towards the observer, crossing him, and then making these angles, or whether it is from one side, the plane is flying away from the observer. So just because of that, the answer, of course, is cannot be determined. So that was the only catch in this. Calculations were not to be done because of that. That's why it was, if anybody understood this part, it was easy just to answer that, okay, I don't need to answer. Otherwise, of course, it's a moderate question in general. 2 questions on numbers. How many non-negative integers n, for how many non-negative integers? So we can take n as a 0. Is this part an integer? Quite again a standard variety of question. The first numerator part can be separated into 2 parts. N cube minus n, you can have, take n common, it's n into n square minus 1, and that's the denominator, n square minus 1. So all you have to do is find the number of factors of 120 and verify those things. A little bit of a verification is needed because it's not just a simple thing, it's n square minus 1 in the denominator. So verification was needed. Question is otherwise quite easy. Numbers, one more. The least number which when increased by 1 is exactly divisible by 12, 18, 24, 32, 40. Again, a quite standard textbook type of a question. But just keeping it as moderate because maybe it's been ignored for a long time. Just find the LCM and subtract 1. The 3 other moderate questions: permutation and combination. RCB, a cricket team, is known to lose 2 matches out of 4 matches. So 2 out of 8, so 1 out of 4. Find the probability of RCB winning exactly 4. This is for losing. 2 out of 8 is losing. And here they've asked for winning exactly 4 matches out of the 5. So all you have to do was apply the repetition theory and you would have an answer. So knowing that, of course, was moderate. Circles. Largest equilateral triangle is inscribed in a semicircle, and a circle of the largest radius is inscribed in the equilateral triangle. This is, of course, to frighten everybody out. If somebody remembers equilateral triangles and the relations of the incircle and the circumcircle, this is an easy question. But again, to understand and remember that is difficult. So moderate question. Find the ratio of the area of the semicircle to that of the circle. A question on maxima, minima, inequalities and spatial properties. Find the minimum value of xy plus 64 plus 1 upon xy. X and y are given as positive. So the only problem here was they've separated out xy and 1 upon xy and put a number 64 in between to distract us. Xy can be taken as z as a positive value. So it is actually z plus 1 upon z plus 64. And everybody would know the answer now. The difficult questions. The set theory question had 3 questions. The only problem was the question involved a set of, there are 4 sets. Endeavor Library, in the Endeavor Library, there are 4 different business newspapers. So that was the problem. There are 4 different business newspapers. It's like people playing cricket, hockey, and football. That part is easy. Those sort of questions are quite easy. Individual numbers of these business readers were there, newspaper readers were there. They were given. The number of students reading exactly 2 is described for every category of exactly 2. Every combination of exactly 2 is described as given as 20. There are 30 who read all the 4 newspapers, and there is nobody who reads exactly 3. So this actually became easy. The only difficult part here is knowing how to analyze 4 set question, how to draw the diagram for 4 sets. That is difficult. So if anybody had gone through that, the rest of the calculations were quite easy. These 3 questions were also manageable. The last difficult question was on surds and indices. If x is equal to root of 5 minus root of 5 plus root of 5 minus root of 5 till infinity, then find the value of x. Calculatively, it is difficult. But again, the question maker has given you a wonderful situation here. The options were such that you use the options and you would get an answer very quickly. Going by options could have been a wonderful way out for this question. But conceptually, the question itself is a little difficult. The questions on graph. Population is given for 2 states, and then there are 3 questions. Percent rise in population from previous was highest for which of the years? That was one question. Percentage rise for a population from previous year for state A is less than that of state B for how many years? That was also quite okay. The third was a little moderate, compounded average growth, CAGR, in state A from 2013 to 2015. Of course, it's just for 2 years, not for 3 years. So there would be a square root to be done. So if somebody is afraid of, again, roots, and somebody thinks, this is what I think I'll not be able to solve, that could have been frightening, but not very difficult, moderate. So 2 easy and 1 moderate question here from the graph, line graph. Very simple enough line graphs, not very difficult to read data. Percentages can be calculated quite easily. So this is the division of the questions, the analysis of the questions. Of the 8 easy, I would still expect somebody might miss away one, might think that, okay, that was difficult and leave one, but 7 could have been, should have been identified. Out of the 8 moderate, 4 should have been identified. And giving a time of 20 minutes, 11 should have been done. This is what I would expect for a person who is going through all the 3 sections uniformly up and having a average, a good 98 percentile in all the 3 sections. So this is for the 98 percentile. 11 attempts. Maybe one might go wrong. So this time, because the questions are easy and moderate, I would expect very high accuracy, not 80 to 85 as usual, but 85 to 90%. Maybe just one wrong, not more than that. With one wrong, the expected score would be 9.75. 10 correct, one wrong, 9.75 is the score for 98 percentile. 95 percentile can be got at just 8.5. That means one more wrong and it would be 95 percentile. 90 percentile would be at 7.75. 80 percentile could be achieved at 6.75 marks. 99 could have been achieved at somewhere around 13.5. Now, I'm sure somebody would be there who would leave out a little bit on the other sections and focus on quant a little more. So I'm putting 100 percentile as all 20 out of 20, all correct. Somebody here, just for that sake. If anybody is otherwise doing average, yes, this 100 percentile could be a little lower. So this is the analysis of the quant section, quant plus DI section. Right. All the best for your preparations.
Okay, so we'll discuss EOM Snap 2, and in that we are going to discuss the DILR section. So the analysis will go in the order of, first we'll discuss the topic distribution. What are the like the questions are asked from which topic? Then question mapping, whether the question is easy, moderate, or difficult, and which one we should choose in the exam. Then expected number of attempts. What are the attempts which are good attempts? And finally, the expected score versus the percentile equivalent. Okay. Okay. So first of all, topic distribution. So these are the certain topics that were asked in EOM Snap 2. There were questions on calendars, number series, set theory, CELOGs. One each questions were asked from these 4 topics. Then 2 questions on mensuration and 2 on blood relation. Okay. Then there was a puzzle which was there were 6 questions attached to it. 2 questions from verbal reasoning and 5 questions from coding decoding. So as we can see from the topic distribution, puzzle and coding decoding are really important. Okay, and 4 were from miscellaneous. Now, okay, so there were certain questions which were really easy and could have been done easily in less than a minute. And for some of these questions, I would say we don't even need a pen and paper to solve these. Okay, you can easily calculate it in your mind. Okay, so the first question would be this one, which was based on calendars. Okay, so this was a very easy question. If you can see it clearly, that day after yesterday is Monday. So basically, they are talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday and today is 18th. So today is 18th and a Sunday. So next week, what it will be, which day it will be. So it will be a Sunday again. Okay. So you don't even need a pen and paper to solve this. Easily could have been cracked in 15 to 20 seconds. Then the next one is a chessboard question. 8x8 ka chessboard is there, and you have to find the number of squares along the side, along the lines on chessboard, and whose areas are odd numbers. So if we can remember the concept of number of squares on a chessboard, 8x8 ka chessboard. So there was a direct formula, if you can remember, from PNC. The formula was 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square till 8 square. Now, in this, they are asking about the squares with only odd numbers, area having odd numbers. So in this, the solution would be 1 square plus 3 square plus 5 square plus 7 square. That will give you the correct answer. The next one is based on the approach of time and work that we have done in quant. Okay, so 4 cleaners can clean 4 cars in 4 hours. Okay, so how many hours it will take by 8 cleaners to clean 8 cars? Okay, so there is a basic misconception or a mistake that most of the students do, that they take the answer as 8 hours. Okay, no, but it should be 4 hours only. Okay, simple, easy questions. Now, there was a question on Venn diagram kind of a thing, a set theory kind of a question. Okay, there were 3 like diagrams given to you. One was a circle, then triangle and rectangle, and the meaning of that was stated already in the question. You just have to see which area they are asking. Okay. Then in a closed room, if the door of a refrigerator is left open, then what will happen to the temperature of the room? This is a kind of question which we have studied at the time of school, and the answer should be the temperature will increase. Okay, so again, a question which doesn't need a pen and paper to solve. And next one is 12 equal squares are placed to fit in a rectangle of diagonal 5. There are 3 rows containing 4 squares each. What is the area of each square? So first of all, what will be the area of all the 12 squares? That would be 3 into 4, that is 12, because the diagonal is 5. So there should be 12 equal squares. So basically, the area of all the squares combined should be equal to 12, and the number of squares is 12. So 12 by 12 will give you an answer of 1. Okay, 1 centimeter square would be the correct answer. Simple enough. And the last one is the length and breadth of a room is given 8 by 15, and a cat runs along all the 4 walls and finally along a diagonal in order to catch a rat. Now, how much total distance is covered by the cat? So basically, the cat took a perimeter of the room. So first of all, you have to calculate what is the perimeter of the room. That is twice of length and plus breadth. Okay, so that will be, I think, twice of 8 plus 15. And the cat also traveled the diagonal. So what will be the diagonal? If the length and breadth is 8 and 15, it will be 17. Okay, so the answer would be 2 into 8 plus 15 whole plus 17. Okay, so basically I would say that these questions, if it clicks and if you know the logic, you'll be able to do it within a minute. Not there are certain questions doesn't even take 20-30 seconds. Okay, less than that. Okay, now next category of questions, which would be easy, but comparatively from the last slide, it would take a little bit more time. Okay, so there was a question on this syllogism. Okay, so the question was really easy, but you have to make that Venn diagram. It will take some time, so it's absolutely fine. But yes, the question was easy, but it will take comparatively more time. Okay, but still, it should not take more than a minute to solve. Okay, if it is taking more than a minute to solve, you have to work on it. Then in a certain code language, it's again a coding decoding a question. Okay, simple question. But there are certain students, they have the habit of writing down, they'll write down this entire phrase, and in front of that they'll write this. Okay, then this phrase they'll write, then this phrase in front of that, and similarly for these two. Okay, so this might take some time and can take a minute to solve, but still it's very simple. Okay, this should have been attempted. Okay, then again decoding coding, dictionary is coded as the other word. Now we can see that there's only arrangement happening. Okay, there's no replacement or there's no increment or decrement in the letter. Like D is not coded as some other letter. Okay, the word dictionary, the letters of the word are just rearranged. So whatever the rearrangement is happening in this, you just have to do the same with this code. Okay, again, why I've taken it in this 1 minute question, so it might take some time, but it is really simple. Okay, then this again is a question which is from the quant section. So it is basically a percentage wala question. If you guys can remember, we have this question in exercise 2 or the solved examples. Okay, so this is a very simple question. We have done it numerous times. The thing is that you have to pick a pen and paper to solve this. Okay, so again, a very simple question. Okay, so I would say that 4 questions are here, and 3, 3, 6, 7. So in total, there are 11 questions, which I would say that is easy. And to do these 11 questions, it should not take more than maybe 9 minutes or something. Okay, shouldn't take more than that. 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, around that time. Okay, it should not go above a minute per question from these 11 questions. Okay, then the next one. So easy to moderate. There are certain questions which are time consuming. We'll discuss that. So the first one, there was a this blood relation. We all know that these questions are simple, but we have to make that diagram of blood relation. So it might consume some time, but I would say that we should give it a try. We should not leave it. Okay, even if you are like leaving it for a later stage, like in the first go, you mark it as for review, you can do that, but please revisit it, because you also know that you will definitely do it correct. Okay, you'll correct this question and you'll get the marks. Okay, so these are the questions which are short, but it will consume some time, because this is a time-based paper. 60 minutes only are there. Okay, so we should do this question. Might take some time. That's absolutely fine. Okay, then again, a blood relation question. Most of the blood relation questions where a blood relation diagram is necessary might consume some time. Most of the times it consumes some time, but still we should do that. Okay, because these are short questions. Next, a coder coded this as this. Again, a coding decoding question. To break it might take some time. There was something like +2, -1, and so on. Okay, so it's absolutely fine if you are able to give it a try and crack it. That's wonderful. Okay, then there was one more. Again, this coding decoding reasoning is coded as this. So you have to find out what the key is. Okay, for this coding. So again, a simple question. I wouldn't say that it is a difficult one, but to break the code might take some time. So all the 4 questions in this category, these are a little bit time consuming, would say take maybe 1.5 or some minutes. Okay, if we are able to do it in 1 minute, all the 4 questions, 1 minute each, that would be wonderful. Okay, but shouldn't take more than 2 minutes. So ideal time would be 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, per question. Then so let's come down to the moderate questions, a bit of difficult. Okay, closer to difficult. So this was the set. This was the question, which was basically it is a number series, but as soon as I see this question or a student see these questions, you should understand that this is made of two different series. I am sure that this have been taught in your class by the faculties, that whenever there's a like a weird kind of a series which we are not able to figure out if it is decreasing or increasing, if it is not a like a consistent series, not increasing, not decreasing, first of all it is decreasing, then increasing, then decreasing, so that kind of a series most of the times is a combination of two or more series. Okay, so in the explanation also you'll see it is a combination of two series. So alternate numbers make a make one series, like 7, 9, 12, 8, and the next one 9, 25, 64, 16, and 36. Okay, so this is a combination of two series. Okay, just see the explanation and you'll be able to get it what I'm trying to say. Okay, then there are two questions which are verbal logic. So in verbal logic we already know if there's an analogy wala question, so if you know the word you know it, if you don't you have to leave it, you cannot guess it. Okay, for etymology, if you know it you can take the answer. If you don't know, just let it go. Okay, don't beat around the bush or don't try to solve it because there's nothing to solve. Okay, so this one I would say that bit of a difficult word. Okay, so that's why I've kept it in the moderate one. And this one there was a little bit of ambiguity, that's why I've kept it in moderate, but still doable. Okay, I don't want to comment on this because it depends on the person whether the student knows it or not, but this one could have been attempted. Okay, because there's one thing that we have to consider, that if we are talking about maybe number series, coding decoding, okay, then puzzles, no, a number series and coding decoding and verbal logic. Okay, these are the certain things, if we practice it a lot, we'll be able to get the answer soon. Okay, and there are good chances that we won't be wasting a lot of time in this, because accuracy is a problem in verbal logic. Okay, time is not the problem. Verbal logic, I hope we all agree this time that in verbal logic time is not an issue. Okay, accuracy is the issue. Okay, so if you are able to increase the accuracy in verbal logic, you will be able to save a lot of time. Okay, so that's why we have to work on this. Okay. Okay, and the next part would be, the last one is moderate but time consuming. Moderate as well as time consuming. Okay, so let's see what are the questions here. First of all, kind of coding decoding or the series one, alphabetical series. Okay, this was a moderate question and time consuming because it might take a lot of time to crack it. Okay, so you could have left this question. It's absolutely fine. Okay. Then this one, would like to talk a lot about this, the puzzle set. Basically, okay, and the last question, the last one was this puzzle. I'll talk about this puzzle in the next slide. Okay, so this was a puzzle, and there were, I think, four variables, I think, names, colors, sports, positions, and A, B, C, D, E, F. There are 6 elements in each of the variable. So it might take some time. For a lot of students, it will take a lot of time. But there's a like a small catch in this. Okay, we'll talk about it in the next slide. Okay, so we in the previous section we have talked about the different type of questions, topic classification, and everything. Now let's talk about the expected attempts, expected scores, and percentiles. Okay, so first of all, expected attempts. So out of these 11 questions, which were easy, I would say I should have attempted all the 11 questions, because we have already discussed it will take a lot of less time in comparison to the others. Okay, there were 4 easy to moderate questions. Okay, at least 2 should have been done. Okay, because I've taken only two because there were coding decoding questions, and there are certain students who struggle in that section. Okay, then moderate questions, there were three. I've taken only one as expected attempts because two were verbal logic, and there was that word which we were talking about, which was kind of difficult, and a lot of students don't know that. So I'm expecting that students will leave that question. Okay, so one out of three from the moderate, and this is kind of surprising for the students. I think that from the moderate time consuming, I've taken 6 attempts. Okay, out of 7, because the paper was structured in that way. What happened that there were 6 questions from just one puzzle. Okay, this kind of a situation might arise at the time of actual snap the paper. Okay, so in total there are 25 questions. If I have to leave this puzzle, I'm left with only 19 questions from the DILR. Now these, if I want a percentile of 98 plus, I need to correct all these 19 questions, or at least I have to attempt all these 19 questions. I don't have any kind of a flexibility in attempting. If I just leave one set, I'm left with only 19 questions. Okay, so this we have to consider that I don't have the leverage to leave those like 6 questions of the puzzle, because even if these 6 questions will take maybe 10 minutes, I'm okay with it, because now I have the leverage to select from this. If I leave this, I have to do all the other questions if I need this much of percentage. Okay, so, and obviously this is subjective, this depends on the student. If the student is okay with attempting all the other 19 questions but leaving this one, that is also fine. But in most of the cases with most of the students, this I have seen that it is quite difficult, uh, close to difficult at least, that if I don't give any choice to them, you have to attempt all the 19 questions, they will compromise on accuracy. Okay, so I would say it's better to attempt that puzzle. Okay, so that's why I've written 6 expected attempts from the moderate time consuming. Okay, so basically 20 questions if you can attempt from out of 25, that would be considered as a good attempt in this particular paper. And this is the basic analysis for only DILR section. If you are scoring around 11.25, you can expect a percentile of 80. 13 पे there is 90 percentile का expectation. 14 पे 95 percentile का expectation. 16.25, this is in green because we have kept it as a reference. Okay, if you are at this in the next to next slide, we'll get to know what this 98 percentile means. Okay, so let's consider this as the like the reference for all the students. Okay, so if you are attempting these 20 questions, if I take you let's say you are able to correct only 3. Okay, you are able to correct only 17, I'm sorry. Okay, and 3 are incorrect, so 17.25. So still I have taken a margin of 1 mark. So if you have scored 16.25, which you can score by this number of attempts, so if you can score this much, you will be able to secure a percentile of 98. Then 19.5 is close to 99 percentile, and if you are able to score 24, that would be really great. Okay, then you'll be the 100 percentile. Obviously we should have a target to reach this, but still if we are below 98, first we should be targeting 98 percentile, then we'll move on forward. Okay, okay, this was for DILR. Let's talk about the entire snap 2, EM snap 2. Okay, so basically this table will give you an understanding of the entire snap 2. So if you want to get a percentile of 80, then these are the good scores for 80 percentile. Okay, if you can score 6.75 around in QA, then 11.25 in DILR, then 6.75 in VARC, then the overall score would be around 18.5, and you can expect a percentile of 80. Okay, similarly, if we focus on this 98, the total required is 32.25, 9.5 in VARC, 16.25 in DILR, and 9.75 in QA. Now, one other thing. So obviously, like there's no sectional limit. There's no sectional timer in Snap. So students have to allot the time as per their preference. But still, this is like a standard approach. You can deviate from it. It's absolutely fine as per your comfort level. But the standard approach is that you would allot around 25 minutes to DILR, 20 minutes to quant, and 15 minutes to VARC. Because in 15 minutes, you'll be able to attempt most of the questions in VARC, okay? And DLR needs a little bit of more effort. So that's why 25 minutes and QA 20 minutes. So accordingly, these like the figures that are you can see on the screen, they are based on these sectional timings, okay? Because we have to consider some kind of a sectional timing, and we have to generalize the timing and the score. Otherwise, it will be like we cannot make as per the student. Okay, so this is the sectional timing, and these are the scores of the section. And if we talk about the overall score, if you can score around 32, 33, you'll be able to get a percentile of 98. That is really good. In the next slide, we will be able to see why I am so much concentrating on 98. So this is the last slide. It is defining percentile versus symbiosis. Basically, on which percentile you can expect which college. Okay, so percentile versus symbiosis college. So this is the data that I have compiled. So this 98, I was targeting a lot from the entire time. So this was because 98, if you're scoring 98 plus percentile, you are supposed to get a call from SIBM Pune, which is the best college from Symbiosis for MBA. Okay, so that's why I'm targeting this 98 a lot. So if you can score 33 above or 32.25 above, you'll be able to get a call from SIBM Pune. Okay, similarly, with a 96 percentile or 28 ka score, SCMHRD ka call you'll be able to get. Then 93 percentile, 24 score, SIIB International Business, which is again a really good college. Then 90 percentile, 22.25, that is SIBM Bangalore. It is a sub branch of SIBM Pune. And lastly, 80 percentile and 18.5 score, SICSR. And there are a lot other colleges. I think there are 14 colleges in Symbiosis, but we are not going to talk about all of them. Okay, because these are the colleges which I should target. I should not target below these. Okay, so this thing you have to consider. If you are appearing for SNAP, you are not going to target a 70 percentile college. Okay, I'm not saying that those colleges are not good or it's not worth to take admission in that. But if we are preparing so much, we are giving mock test and everything, then I would expect we will get a percentile more than 80. Okay, so that's why I've taken only these colleges. Okay, where SIBM Pune is the best one. SCMHRD is known to be one of the best in the country for HR. SIIB is also a good enough college, and these two are okay. Okay, chalo. So this was the entire analysis of SNAP 2. That's all for today. Thank you.